Hello everyone, and welcome back to this Kingswood Jobs in Focus series that we've been running, or as I like to call it, a so-called Jobscast. You'll hopefully been able to see the other episodes that are available both on Facebook and YouTube that cover opportunities within the Bristol region, within the care sector, within the retail sector, and also explaining how the government's new Kickstart scheme will be working if you are a young person on universal credit. And today, however, we thought we'd focus on opportunities for training. We know that sort of, particularly in this pandemic age, training is going to be absolutely vital for those who want to not only skill, but reskill for the future. I'm delighted to have an expert panel really joining me today. We've got Sandy Hore-Ruthven, the Chief Executive of the Creative Youth Network, absolutely fantastic charity that I've long had the opportunity to work with. Alan Bell, who's a case manager for the Restore Trust, and Matt Davis, who is Adult Planning and Partnership Coordinator for South Gloucestershire and Stroud College. So what we're going to do is I'll introduce each of our speakers in turn, who are going to speak for a maximum of 5 minutes. And then we'll have a bit of a chat, a couple of questions at the end. So I'll hand over first to Sandy, if that's okay. It'd be great to hear from you about not only opportunities within the Creative Youth Network, but also some of the broader opportunities I think that you have within the field of youth engagement that I know you're an expert in. So Sandy, over to you.
Good. Well, thanks, Chris, and yeah, thanks for having us. So just to explain a little bit, the Creative Youth Network, we're a charity that helps young people reach their potential and has a particular focus on those who are more vulnerable, who have had a difficult start in life. So we run a whole range of programs, from youth clubs to sort of one-to-one mentoring and that kind of thing. But you know, we do offer training and support for young people, particularly to get into work. And I think it's fair to say that we're already seeing the impact of COVID on youth unemployment. We're realistically expecting probably a doubling of the number of young people who we're seeing coming through as unemployed or not having a college course to go to or training or apprenticeship to go to. So our job is to work very much with those very vulnerable young people for whom it takes a little bit more than just a bit of help to fill in the college form. It's really about those young people who need more support, maybe because they've got mental health issues, they may be homeless. We're also seeing many young people who are living in digital poverty too. So now we're relying much more on these kinds of things, Zoom and computers, and we're coming across lots of young people who either don't have any kit at all, or maybe they share a phone with a mum or a dad but can't access it to get to school or a training program. So we're aiming to support them. And so just to sort of explain a little bit about what we offer. So the first thing is that we offer that what you might call holistic support. So you know, you can't get a job if you're struggling at home, or you don't have a home, or maybe you're having mental health issues. So our first and foremost thing we do is to support those young people to get the help they need so that they're job ready. We do then offer the sort of more standard things like CV writing, interview support. We do have some grants that mean we can buy a suit or a tie, or we can buy a tablet so that you can access interviews and that kind of thing online. And we can do that both as a one-to-one, but we also have regular programs of career support. So often young people will benefit from coming together with sort of 6 or 10 others to learn those work skills, teamwork, and you know, working with others, communication skills, by doing just a short project. But through that, they learn what they're good at, and what they have to offer the world, and maybe what they need to learn and work on too. And that way, we help them get to the point where they'll fill in the best CV that they can, or find a college course that they ought to go on. And then I think the final thing to add is that we have a particular focus on supporting young people who want to get into the creative industries, which are often quite different to sort of standard way of getting a job, which is where you write your CV, you apply for the job, you get an interview, and then you get the job. The creative industries is very different. You have to know the right people. You probably have what you might call a portfolio career. So you might do a little bit of work for one company, a little bit for another, and it takes quite a lot of time to build that up, that portfolio up. So we have a particular focus and programs to help young people who want to get into the creative industries, which of course is about sort of 20-25% of our regional business are the creative industries, and we want to make sure that all young people have the opportunity to do that. So if you're interested in the creative industries, if you want to get involved, do get in contact with us. If you're somebody who feels you need a bit more support than just the CV writing and you're under 19, then give us a call.
So, thank you very much, Sandy. I'm going to go to Alan now, if that's okay.
Yes.
To talk about Restore Trust and the individuals who you work with and opportunities that you provide.
Okay, yes. Restore Trust, we're well established in Bristol. We're based right by the prison here, and I suppose we're best known for is helping release prisoners settle back into a life and help them with. This is normally on a one-to-one basis with these guys. So we look at their individual case. We look at what kind of network they're coming back into, what kind of support structures may already be there for them, what their housing situation is, if they have a history of mental illness or substance abuse, and so on, or people with difficult offences to find employment for. So really anything that we can do to move those people closer to having a more stable and productive life. And that will obviously include engagement in accredited training, and ultimately, I think we all hope for into sustainable employment as well. So it is a very much a mixed bag. So that's something we've been doing for years now. But I think something else I wanted to say, I think it's equipped Restore Trust with a set of skills that we can spread outside of that particular constituency. We're just meeting a lot of people from all walks of life, whether they've been inside or not, that find managing life really quite challenging and quite difficult. So I think it gives us that extra set of skills so that when we offer people careers advice, which is something else that we do, I think we can do it from a very real place that relates to where they are, and then helping them make the steps to begin to achieve something in their life. Something we've got into recently, and it's something I tend to work on a lot, is in training provision. So helping, we're actually now putting on online courses. We have been working very closely with the DWP because of their sector place work academy program, which they're very keen on promoting. We are now doing our third with them, which we're very pleased about. We've been very conscious during all this time, though, that we don't want, I think, Sandy, you used the term digital poverty. I think it's a fantastic term. I was usually heard the term digital exclusion, but I think digital poverty does describe it. They either don't have the skills or they don't have the equipment to engage. So we've been very conscious of that from day one, because our courses are tutor-led, they are live and interactive, because we feel that's the best way to engage with people. But we're lucky in the premises that we have been able to set up 2 rooms, which are designed in such a way to allow people to attend while respecting social distancing and so on, but can actually be on the premises, so we can offer more direct support if their skills are poor, or we can provide the equipment because they don't have it at home. If neither of those options are available, we'll even drive around and deliver them a workbook, as long as they've got a smartphone that they can join the tutor on, then they can fill out the workbook as you normally would in a classroom. And at the end of that, obviously, we've got partnerships with a couple of very sympathetic employers that are offering job interviews, and we're now beginning to get some results coming in from that. So that's really where we are at the moment. The other areas that we're looking at, IT. Not sure how we're going to do this, because if people don't have the IT skills, how can they do an online course? But that's a discussion for another day. But also care, the DWP, very clear that there is a demand out there for care workers, and there may not be enough provision. So that's, I think, going to be our next project. But we hope the construction side of what we do. Sorry, well, the next thing we're going to be doing is getting outcomes, really. So I got lost a bit there towards the end. Sorry about that.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, and I'm sure we'll come back to sort of how individuals can get in contact and if they're interested in some of those opportunities. Hand over now to Matt, if that's all right, from South Gloucester and Stroud College, which had an excellent visit. I went to when I was a minister and thoroughly enjoyed myself. So keen to see what opportunities there are at SGS currently, and what your plans are from them.
Sure. So thanks for having me on. So as mentioned, I'm part of SGS College, and we have campuses in Filton and Stroud, in the centre of Bristol as well as working in a number of community venues within Bristol. So we have a pretty clear aim, really, that we're just looking to kind of positively change people's lives, and of course that involves supporting our learners and giving them the skills and the qualifications that they need to find opportunities to work within Bristol, the South Gloss area, and sort of beyond that as well, really. So we work across all ages, with my focus being mainly on our 19 plus adults. So we've always provided a variety of fully funded courses that kind of allow our learners to find qualifications when they're unemployed, that will help skill them and help build that confidence. And obviously we want to give us sort of as broad a range of qualifications as we can to support that unemployed market and help them find that kind of career path that they want to get on. So obviously in the recent climate of increasing unemployment, it's sort of vital that more than ever, really, that we continue to do that, but also kind of increase our support and our training opportunities. So with this in mind, we've recently just launched our program called Upskilled, which provides 2 to 3 week short courses to our learners who are currently unemployed or simply looking to kind of refresh their skills and retrain with us. So we're providing these courses in security, hospitality, health and social care, early years, retail, and the construction sector. And really, these courses are a fantastic opportunity for learners to come along to one of our community locations and learn those important transferable skills and bespoke training within that kind of desired industry or sector. So these classes are a lot of fun as well. We do activities and discussions throughout to start to excite them about sort of the possible career paths that they could take. So we work with a lot of local employers as well that come along and they give that kind of expert insight into the sector and share stories of their time in the industry, which our learners find really, really beneficial. As I mentioned, learners kind of walk away with qualifications at the end of it as well. For example, we do sort of level 1 customer service, equality and diversity, first aid at work, food hygiene. Our security sector provides that kind of door supervising qualifications as well. And it's something that's running now and it's running throughout the year. And we do it in kind of key locations throughout Bristol at the moment, but we're also going to expand that into the kind of Stroud area. We're also about to open up a new employability workshop, we'll call it, in the galleries in Broadmead to again deliver these courses, but also increase our offering to the unemployed. So this new dedicated centre will open up within the next couple of weeks, and it will really be dedicated to that unemployed market or those learners looking to reskill. We're also obviously looking to support businesses with a new kickstart scheme that was mentioned, that's looking at to create those kind of job placements for young people. And also, we understand the nervousness around COVID and perhaps people's desire to not leave the house as much in these times. And while we've taken every measure possible, obviously across all of our sites to protect our learners, we want to also ensure that we provide a number of courses online. And we do a huge range of these now, which, it ranges from level 1s, level 2s, and business administration, digital skills in employment, team leading, introduction to counselling skills as well, which has become a real popular course now. Again, they're all fully funded and available for learners to start anytime, really. So also, everyone's sort of mentioned it as well, but the college provide a dedicated careers team, and my role outside of the adult planning is also as a college governor, and a real focus on that kind of careers link and how we can make sure that learners are getting the best possible opportunities once they've finished with us, really, and leave with those qualifications. So we've got a dedicated team that ensure they meet with our learners when they finish the courses or even during the courses, and they kind of talk about interview techniques, discussing CVs, how to write a good CV, and really help give that learner every chance of finding employment. So we're hoping that we're really going to can make a difference to the unemployed and the market looking to reskill, and that's kind of one of my focuses at the moment. And obviously with these times, it's become a big focus, and that's where we're at the moment, really.
Well, thank you, Matt. That's brilliant. And I think what I wanted to ask, and maybe ask each of the panelists in turn, was say, in terms of individuals who are interested in maybe sort of pursuing the opportunities that you have, what does that look like for them? Do they pick up the phone? Obviously, they've got access to email, send an email. Could they walk in? And then do they get an opportunity to sort of chat through what they might like to get involved in? And I guess sort of what I'm just trying to sort of tease out would be sort of, how does somebody, what does it look like for someone if they basically either sort of turned up at Creative Youth Network, where they sort of, do they have a chat to sort of see where their interests lie, and then get the opportunity to pursue something, and how long does that take, and is there a sort of limit on places at all as well that people need to think about? Just I'm fully aware, obviously, as organisations, you have sort of capacities. So Sandy, I don't know if I can get you to go first.
So there are lots of different ways that people can find out. So we have a base in Kingswood. The old Kingswood estate is where we're based, but also in central Bristol we have the station, which is the big youth centre there. You can give us a call on the phone. You can find our number on the website, or you can even just fill in a form on the website or send us an email. The important thing for us is we know that lots of people are vulnerable. I guess my fear around COVID is that there are, particularly in our case, young people who were struggling anyway, and actually COVID's made things much more difficult. So we will even come to you. So if you give us a call, we can come and meet you in your home. And absolutely, what we don't start with the form that you have to fill in to get on the course. It's very much having a conversation to find out what support you need, what your interests are, how much time you've got. So our courses and our sort of one-to-one support are very flexible. So you can be doing sort of 2 or 3 days a week, right the way through to just sort of an hour a week to have a conversation and see how you're getting on. We can support you once you're in your job as well. So if it's your first job and you just a sort of half-hour chat once a week, we can do that. So it's very much based around the individual. So please do come and talk to us in whatever way is best for you. And as I say, we'll even come and meet you where you are, and we can talk about what the opportunities are, what the options are, but also really most importantly, what it is that you think you need, because we know that very often people have said, well, here's a CV, write your CV, but actually if your housing situation is difficult or your mental health situation is difficult, we need to support that first before you can move forward. So it's very much a bespoke service. So please do come and have a chat with us. And I guess if you're a parent, a mum or a dad who's worried about your kids, please do, you can give us a call as well, and we'll aim to get in touch with you and reach out to your children.
And with the Creative Youth Network, the age limit is to 24, is it?
Yeah. So yes, if you're up to 24, I mean, most of our work is with 19 and under. Sort of complicatedly, it relies a little bit on the various bits of funding that we have. But yeah, broadly up to 24, we can give you support. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Alan, I know with the Restore Trust you mentioned about former prisoners who are looking to be rehabilitated in society. And obviously you were mentioning about expanding your mission in terms of your coverage. Are you looking at a more mature individual sort of group of potential learners? Is there any sort of eligibility for the Restore Trust?
I think generally, at the moment it's 19 plus.
Yeah.
But I'm listening to Sandy talk. I mean, the way that we deal with ex-offenders is very similar. You know, there are multiple avenues that they can get referred into us. We even visit the prison ourselves and go and talk to prisoners that are about to be released to assess their needs and ask them if they want any help and support. We've got facilities here that they can drop around at any time for a chat. So yeah, it was a very, very similar profile to Sandy. It's an open door, and what we need to do is prioritise their needs and act accordingly. I think the other main way that we get people referred to us is obviously the probation service, which we have a very good relationship with. On the training side, that's where we're looking to expand really, is obviously the DWP. So it's dealing with their referrals promptly and quickly and establishing what they need and what they require, running through them. I mean, everything is so new. You have to explain to people how all this is actually going to work and so on. So we are investing. Interestingly enough, though, Chris, I find it interesting. We're actually spending probably more time now briefing on a one-to-one basis than we've ever done as a training provider, because you can have a group information session, which we've done like this, you know, with an employer and so on. But when you actually want to engage them, you have to spend some time with them as an individual. And one of the interesting side effects is this is only anecdotal, but our pass rates and retention rates are far better than they were pre-lockdown.
And have you got a set group of employers you're working with, or are you also looking for employers to engage with Restore as well?
We're always looking for employers. I mean, at the moment, I think in terms of the construction side, we have an employer. Their attitude throughout the whole thing has been absolutely fantastic. When we've spoken to them, they said, look, you know, tell ex-offenders there's no problem. If they're suitable for the job, then we'll employ them. And they have a history of doing this. And when I mentioned to them, for example, about helping care leavers into sustainable employment, they almost bit my hand off. They said, look, we want to be part of this negotiation. So I think the employer side of this is the key. It's a vital part. That's where the jobs are. These are the people that are going to help all of our clients take the next step. So, you know, I feel very happy that we found this as a partner, but we are looking for others, but in different sectors, basically. So I think the next thing that we're going to be focusing on is care work.
Okay. Well, it might be possible to link you up with some of the care providers that I've certainly had a chat with. I know they're keen to look for individuals. It might be.
Yes, I was speaking to, is it Proud to Care?
Yeah.
Which is a local authority organisation, which is like a clearinghouse. So whilst they can't get directly involved because they can't show any bias, they are at the centre, I think, of a very important web in Bristol. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, in lots of ways, it's quite exciting times. There's new challenges for everybody, and we're all learning new skills, I think, as we go on. And I think a lot of practices will not go back.
Yeah.
Once we all do, I think.
Can I add? I'm sure, Alan and Matt, you're the same. That all of us will refer on to each other as well. We're all
yes, of course. Yeah.
Adore. I think that's the key thing. That if you're out there wondering what to do, who to talk to, is a Creative Youth Network right for me? Well, if it is, great. But if it's not, come to us and we will pass you on to SGS or whoever else is out there. And I think that's one of the really good things that's happened during COVID, is we're all working much more closely together and really just trying to find the right way to support, in our case, young people, but I'm sure adults too. So please just come to one of us and we'll find you the right place, even if it's not directly with us.
Yes, that's a good point.
Matt, did you want to add anything in terms of SGS's sort of processes? Obviously, we just mentioned about sort of the network that's in place, but in terms of some of the training opportunities, and I guess you have a wide variety of courses, and obviously you have individuals who seek to pursue their careers through further education. Because you mentioned about sort of looking at targeting those individuals who may be out of education at the moment. If someone maybe has slipped through the net in the past and they want to have a sort of honest chat, and they're able to visit any particular times or sort of pick up the phone, how does it work with SGS?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, the easiest method is the website. They can go on there, they can find the courses they're interested in, and they can inquire, or they can sort of semi-enroll on those courses. But they can also come on site to any of our campuses. Obviously, once we open the employability area within the galleries in a couple of weeks' time, they can come there as well. No matter what method they do use to get in touch with us, whether it's that or by email or by phone, we always follow up with a phone call, in particular with our adults, or with an email or an online chat, to really discuss, what are they really interested in? If they've already tried to enroll in a course, is that the right course for them? And is it hitting what their kind of goals for the future and their careers, and their desire for the future? And again, that our careers service would then work with those learners as well throughout. But yeah, absolutely, especially with our adults, every one of those learners has that one-to-one support at the start to ensure they're on the right course, but then they also get that support running throughout the course and beyond as well. I mean, they can use our careers service for a year, 2 years in the future once they've even finished with SGS College. So it's very much, we want to be there for their kind of whole journey.
And in terms of some of the courses and the course provision, and obviously being able to get onto a course, are there certain entry points in the year? If an individual turned up to SGS and asked about sort of saying, well, I've spotted this particular course, are there either sort of waiting lists, or how long would for them to, having contacted yourselves, how long before then they could actually engage in learning? I guess there's online courses they could take immediately, but are there sort of opportunities that won't open up till January or sort of later? It'd be good to get a sense of that.
Yeah, so with the upskilled courses I was referring to earlier, they're throughout the year. So we've got some starting in November, some starting in December, January, February, and we try and start them as often as we can, because especially with our adults, they're all at kind of different points of their sort of life journey, if you will, and they come for us throughout the year. So we don't want to keep them waiting, to the following year to join one of our courses. So they run throughout. Some of them not so often, but whatever happens, we can take that inquiry, and if that demand is there, we can obviously speed up that process and get those courses running sooner. Which is again why we've opened up this new gallery centre as well, just to kind of help with that flow of the what will appear to be that growing demand of unemployment, and get them kind of on track as quickly as possible, because that's important, I think.
Excellent. Okay, well, I think the session we've held today has been fantastic in providing a insight into what is available and how you can get in contact, and also an oversight into how opening and welcoming your organisations are. And for myself, I've learned a lot. I don't know if anyone would like to add a couple of closing remarks. Is there anything we've missed out at all from this session? As I said, we'll make sure that this is put on both Facebook and YouTube, and accessible to those who wish to watch it. In terms of contact details, we'll put that on the Facebook site. But anything you'd like to add in the end, please let me know.
I think for me, we know that times are tough, but actually there is help out there. So please come and talk to us. We do have capacity. We can expand our programs. So it's not a matter of we can take on 500 young people and then stop. It's actually the help is out there. So please do come to us and have a chat. Don't sort of sit and despair at home, thinking you'll never get a job or can't get into college. There is, we will work our way through it, and we're here to help. And you can look at our website, which is creativeyouth.org.uk. So have a look at that. That gives you all the details.
Okay. Brilliant.
Can I just put in a plug here? You're talking about networking, a big plug for the Ways to Work network in Bristol.
Okay.
You all familiar with the Ways to Work network run by the council?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
They're having their network meetings quarterly. They're doing them online, but they're still there. You get a lot of people dealing in this sector appearing there and explaining what it is that they do. So I find that a really useful place to be. Except I couldn't get on it this morning because I had IT issues. But there you go. That's the modern life, isn't it? But I think locally they've always been there. They used to put on a lot of events and so on. So it's just a big plug for the Ways to Work network. If you want to know what's going on in Bristol, I think that's one of the first places to go.
Excellent. Well, I think we'll definitely, as my office, be looking into that. I mean, the frustration we've had is not been able to put on the jobs fairs that we normally put on because of COVID, but exploring online opportunities like that sound fantastic. Matt, did you want to add anything else, or you?
I think Sandy put it fantastic earlier, really, that we're just one big support mechanism now, I think, especially with COVID. So no matter where you go, we're always going to ensure that you speak to the right company, the right people. And yeah, that all my contact details and all our departments' contact details are on our website, which is www.sgsco.ac.uk.
Well, Matt, Alan and Sandy, thank you so much for joining me today. I do really appreciate you giving up your time. And I hope that, yes, these are incredibly difficult times, but when it comes to training, it's absolutely vital that the answer to providing some solutions to rising youth unemployment and opportunities that may have been lost over this year will come through training. And so anything I can do as a local MP to help you, please do let me know. But keen to make sure that your organisations are able to signpost as many people as possible. So thank you for your engagement today, and I wish you all the best for the future. Thank you.
Thank you.